Hey, today I'm going to be reviewing the Skyrim Anniversary Edition. If you've already bought this, let me know what you guys think about this edition down below. And if you haven't played Skyrim before, then what are you doing? Go buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be reviewing Skyrim Anniversary Edition, the newest edition from Bethesda, because they're just like, here, take Skyrim once again. Todd Howard, you can't keep getting away with this, man. You keep reselling the same game, and guess what? Us fans, we keep buying it, man. So, you know, it's working. This was announced not too long ago, I believe a few months back, and it is officially out now. I know I'm late, but now that I'm here today, we are going to be reviewing this edition, and there's a lot of content to cover, but we're not going to cover each individual piece of content. But I do want to collectively talk about this thing as a package and whether you should buy it, wait for a sale, or just skip it altogether. So by the time you finish watching this video, I will help you decide on what you should do in terms of purchasing this product. So the first thing I want to talk about is like the graphics, audio, and like what's really changed. So I have a changelog here. I'm not going to cover everything, but let's just get to the basics here. So in terms of the graphics, as far as I can tell, literally nothing's changed. I think somewhere on Steam in their changelog list, there's something about like minor lighting improvements, but minor, like very minor. So pretty much in terms of graphics, like nothing's changed. Audio, same thing, pretty much nothing's changed. And to be honest, I expected that because when this was announced, I was like, oh, we're just getting Creation Club content, so nothing else. Now I was hoping for maybe some more, but you know, look, let's be grateful here and say, look, this package overall, you know, like we'll get to whether this is worth it or not, because you're going to be surprised by my answer. All right, so let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this video, the content itself. So how's the content? Is it worth it? Things like that. And of course, like I said, I'll answer that by the end of this video. So when it comes to the content, of course, I feel like it's pretty like obvious, right, that there's a lot here. Like there's really a lot to dig in, and it's content from, I believe, the past 10 years, you know, the past decade, in terms of the, you know, the Creation Club, right? You know, all this content with new, you know, weapons and quests and things like that. Because here's the thing, if you're new to Skyrim, or maybe you're new to the Creation Club in general, a lot of these aren't just like items like DLC that's just given to you, like, oh, you bought this, you know, new sword or whatever, it's just the game's just going to give it to you. Like, no, you actually, you know, do quests and it gives you these items. So that's what I really do like about, you know, the Creation Club content, is it's not just like you're paying for cosmetics in a way. It's more so you're actually doing quests, you're engaging with the game, and you're being rewarded for that. So in a way, you're paying for quests, not just items, if that makes sense. So if you own the special edition of Skyrim, if I'm not mistaken, you get 4 free Creation Clubs. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's survival, fishing, and I forgot the other 2, but there's 2 other ones that you get as well. But when you buy the Anniversary Edition, you get those 4 plus, again, all of this other content. So I do want to kind of tap into, I guess, the more important Creation Clubs for this, or I should say the 2 most important. So the first thing we have is survival mode. So survival mode, I mean, you know, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's just I would say a more challenging, I guess a little bit more engaging version of Skyrim. I don't remember everything that's in it, but I do know there's a lot of changes. I don't think you can fast travel, and I think there's like a weather bar. There's like some other stuff you have to worry about. It's basically more survival based, right? It's more like a survival, you know, game mode or whatever. I guess like the forest or something, right? So survival mode kind of speaks for itself, right? So that's in there for free. But the next most important piece is fishing. So of course, fishing is now in the game. So around the map, you can find these little, I guess, they're like little like tent setup type things. I don't know exactly what to call them, but basically around rivers and things like that, you'll see them all around the map. You'll find fishing gear, and so you go up, you click X or A, and basically it'll throw you into this animation, and you're sitting there with the fishing rod, and you know, you toss in your reel, and it's super easy to fish in the game. I mean, I don't gotta explain it, right? It's super easy, really easy to get into, but it's really cool. I tried it for a bit. Now I unfortunately didn't get any footage for this, so of course the person on screen that you're seeing, huge shout out to him, his thing will be on the screen, whoever it is. But yeah, so fishing, like I said, really does speak for itself. It's really cool. It's a nice addition to the game. And again, you don't need Anniversary Edition for this, but it is part of the entire package. So if you do buy the Anniversary Edition, you're getting fishing regardless. But as for the rest of the content, again, I like going through all this content, having to do all the quests for a review. I feel like that's just going to take way too long. So I did briefly look through a lot of these quests and did try to explore some of this. And of course, like I said, a lot of, I don't want to spoil too much at all, right? But of course, that's why you are looking at the footage and you're seeing basically everything surface level, right? If you go to the Creation Club tab, you can see everything. It basically shows you everything that you're going to get up front. You see all the weapons, you see all the pieces of armor, the gear, companions, like all these things, it shows you up front. So you get an idea of what you're going to get here, right? Which I feel like, again, is something that anybody can just search up, like what is in the Creation Club. So the reason why I'm here is to convince you as to whether you should buy this or not. And that's what we're going to talk. Yeah, we got to talk about that. All right. So now we need to talk about the pricing. I know I just briefly brushed through the content in general, but again, I didn't want to spoil anything. I just wanted to show you everything that you get, the 4, free creations that you get if you have special edition or of course anniversary, but it's for free special content. What am I saying? For free Creation Club items that you get, but again, it's also included with the anniversary edition. So let's talk about the pricing. All right, so it's $20 for an upgrade. So if you already own the special edition, $20 to upgrade to the anniversary edition. But if you don't own Skyrim or the special edition whatsoever, $50 for the entire package. So if you want Skyrim and the anniversary edition all together, it's $50. So this is where things get a little complicated, because it seems like I'm really positive about this and I haven't said too many negative things. I don't think I said anything negative at all. And again, when it comes to, reviews here on this channel, I like to keep these non-biased whatsoever. So if I think something is genuinely bad, I'm like, don't waste your money. But if I think it's worth it, I'm like, yeah, I think you should. But then I'm also, there's moments where I'm like in between. And that's how I feel about this. So I'm a big Skyrim fan, right? I love this game to death. It's amazing. And I feel like, when I looked at the anniversary edition, I'm like, okay, so there's no like graphical upgrades, nothing crazy, right? Which I didn't expect that whatsoever. But I'm like, okay, I'm paying $20 for basically a bunch of new like mini quests, a few larger quests, right? But I'm basically paying for new gear, new weapons, companions, things like that, right? $20, is that worth it? And I thought to myself, yeah, I love the game to death. I want more. There's so much to do in the game. And I've seen people say like, oh, you could just mod a lot of this stuff outside of the game for free. But I feel like for $20, you're saving yourself the hassle. Like if you're somebody, you're not like a big person who's like, I love downloading mods. Like you don't want to go through the hassle of, having to be like, just be one of those people, right? Where you're just downloading all these mods and spending all this time. If you don't want to spend all that time downloading mods and whatnot, then I'd say, yeah, this is worth it. But if you're like a big modder, like you love modding games, right? You're fine with modding Skyrim for free and stuff like that. Here's the thing. A lot of this isn't really out there. So, some of this is exclusive. People haven't had the chance to mod a lot of this content. So a lot of this you can't find anywhere else but here. Eventually people might mod it for free, but for now, some of this stuff you can only get in this package. And again, this is where it gets complicated because if you're a modder, well, it's like, should you pay the money? I think people should. I think people, I think it is definitely worth supporting this. And again, you could mod a lot of this stuff, but I think a lot of this is also only exclusive to this. So even if you do mod the game, again, you're probably gonna only find a lot of this stuff here specifically, exclusively, right? Now, let's say you've never played Skyrim before, right? Maybe you're shooting for the $50 package. You want to buy both together, or maybe you just want to buy Skyrim by itself and eventually buy the anniversary edition later, which is something I think a lot of people should do. If you've never played Skyrim before, I would say do not buy the anniversary upgrade package, whatever. Just buy special edition, play the game, and if you really love it, you'll go back and you'll spend more money for the anniversary edition, because there's no point, if you've never played Skyrim before, even if you're like, dude, this game looks amazing, I really want to play this. Look, don't spend that extra money on the anniversary because you might end up not playing all of the content that's in it. And on top of that, you might also not end up liking Skyrim. But let's be honest here, who doesn't like Skyrim, right? So when it comes to my final thoughts, again, overall, just seems like I'm very positive about this, and I am. I do think that generally speaking, I think this is worth it. I think even if a lot of this is free outside of the game, once again, a lot of this you can only find here exclusively. So my final thoughts in general is, again, if you really love Skyrim, if you really want more, then yeah, there's a lot of content here and it's only $20. If it was like, you know, 30, 40, I'm like, you're kind of pushing it, right? But $20, I think it's worth it. And again, if you're just getting into the game, I would say just buy special edition. And then if you do like the game, the base game, if you're really into it, then you can go back and, you know, once again, pay for the anniversary upgrade. But that has been my thoughts on the Skyrim Anniversary Edition. I'm having a blast so far. Let me know what you guys think about it down below if you've played it. And if you've not, then what are you doing? Like I said, make sure to go buy Skyrim. It's definitely worth your money and your time. It's a great game. As always, if you found this useful, be sure to leave a like on the video. And if you're new here around these parts on the channel, then hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I will catch you, ladies and gentlemen, all in the next one. Peace out.